Hello everyone, and welcome back to, it's been a long while I know, Chapter Master. Yes, I'm gonna return to Chapter Master, but I'm gonna do a once a week thing, and I'll alternate between this and my long play, which I had a lot of fun with that long play, you know, trying to get through as the Guardians of Fire. But yeah, I kind of really went off this game because it is completely abandonware, and I'm literally fighting the game and the game-breaking glitches every time, but it's part of the challenge, isn't it? And I mean, let's be honest, this game is probably more finished than most of the early access crap that dribbles up on Steam nowadays. So why not give it a go? Right. So I hit restart on the previous glitched save, which wouldn't let me load it, because naturally. So we're going to start from scratch, but thankfully, I have an idea of what to do this time. So, recruitment. We're going to up the apothecary training and the psychic training. I'm going to get psycho and apothecary to moderate. Yeah. And just as an aside, can we build an armory? No, we need 1500. Okay, so I have to keep away from the Inquisition until I can do that, and then if it's an emergency I'll dump the Chaos Artifacts, but I'd rather just give them to them. Promote to first company. I'm going to redistribute all the apothecaries. Fourth company, naturally, my favourite company. The Revenant Guardians, as I call them. Even though they are, in the Codex terms, the master of the chapter of the fleet. Which would be interesting, because I'd imagine the captain in charge of the fleet would be very fucked off after the Badab War, when he lost half his fleet to the fucking bastard Minotaurs, who I hate. For the Minotaurs, for what they did to the Lamenters and what they've done to other chapters, stealing holy relics, you know, destroying fellow Astartes for no reason and being nothing more than the High Lord's mindless attack dogs, they deserve little more than death. And I personally think the Minotaurs should fuck off. But that's my personal opinion. I understand a lot of people love the Minotaurs and think their badassness and standing up to Ultramarine successor chapters and killing of fellow Astartes makes them manly, but I think it makes them cowards. It makes them weak. Makes them an anathema. Anathema? Yeah, to the very notion of Astartes' sovereignty and independence, that they're the High Lord's personal attack dogs, who probably spend most of their days sucking their dicks. If you haven't gathered, the Minotaurs can piss off, their bronze pieces of crap. But yes, carrying on with a more happy tone, the Lamenters, the best chapter. Well, probably not the best, my favourite chapter, certainly not the best. I mean, they're understrength, undermanned, and being constantly shit on, but hey, that's who they are. Right, so, looking at the sector, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. Rest doesn't seem too bad. Okay, so we have everybody loaded up. Oh, we'll transfer everyone just to their respective companies. Normally this is the type of stuff I'd do off screen, but some of you seem to like the micromanagey sort of side, so I keep it in. And it is part of this game. I mean, it is, the micromanagey side is involved quite a lot, although I still think it could have been streamlined a little bit. But no matter. Right, librarians. They'll be fine. Right, once again we have a massively nicely made fleet because the game doesn't seem to process that, but personally I am more than happy to have the Lamenters pre-Badab War fleet on my hand. Gate Light, Bloody Dawn, Scourge of Remembrance, that's a kick-ass name. Litany of Hatred, that's boring and predictable. Modern Speed, that's odd. White Serpent, pretty cool. I still think the Scourge of Remembrance is the most kick-ass name. Right, chapter settings, raid. We want to push the Honor Guard and the HQ to the back. I even know the chapter master is a really strong warrior. And I want to push the Tech Marines back as well. I'd rather have the HQ, the Chapter Master defending Devastators from enemy infiltrators. We want the Rhinos as more of a kill screen, so push those back. Once again, we push the HQ and the Honor Guard behind, because they're the bodyguards for my good old Devastators. Just as an aside, I cannot promote anyone to be Honor Guard, can I? No, I cannot. And I don't think I have an Honor Guard, do I? No, that's alright though. I'll promote maybe 5 Marines to act as an Honor Guard, buff the shit out of them with like Mark 6 armor and a few power weapons, and they should be able to defend. Right, so looking at the sector. Oh, we have Tyranids. We always love Tyranids. Go deal with the Tyranids. Right, Tyranid forces moderate. Well, that's always good. We launch a raid. It's a standard sort of attack. Right. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Oh, assault marines have been lost. And a greater demon of Slaanesh has taken form. And I lost a librarian. Well, that's fine. Going to a flying start, isn't it? Maybe for raids, we'll push the assault marines back. Well, we'll put the dreadnoughts forth and then the assault marines. Just because the dreadnoughts have more armor and can probably tank a few more hits. Right. Who has the highest population? You do. So you need the most defending. Right. Sweet. That's better, Librarian Corps. Nice. Alright. And Lictor has been destroyed. Good. Just as an aside, I want to help against Tyranids. I know. Let's see what artifacts we've got. Okay, Demonic. That's fine. Ooh, that's fine. That's fine. Demonic. That's fine. Chaos. Probably Chaos. Definitely Chaos. Not Chaos. Chaos. Okay, Demonic. 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 Why the hell do we have so many demonic artifacts? Oh well. I guess I'm not giving a shiny new suit of armor or a bolter to 4th Company Captain anymore. Alright. Nice. Enemy forces at 1%. Cool. Right, tiny. Launch another raid. I do like raids. They are slightly overpowered, but personally, and you don't get the backup of armor, but to be fair, you can just crush into them, which is good. Right, Tyranid forces are being routed. I really think this game should have and could have had so much great potential if someone would take up the banner. Oh, you could have had NPC Space Marine chapters flying around, more Imperial Navy fleets. You could have actually made it like a sector, you know, had trade fleets going back and forth between each other. That would have been really cool. Alas, que sera, sera. Right, and we're just going to launch a regular attack actually, because I'd like to see what the addition of tanks does to this. Well, 56 storm bolters from the Rhinos just obliterate everything. That is hilarious. Now, because I want 1st Company to get a bit more experience so I can get some Honor Guard members and Terminator armor, you can mop up the rest of the Tyranids with the local forces. Right. Well, they have 4 Rhinos. That's pretty cool. Nice. Excellent work. Good work, 1st Company. Credit to the chapter. Load into there. And And the sector is... the system is free once more. We shall praise her. I agree, sister. I agree, sister. The only praise should be the praise that we give to the Emperor. And we are going to assist you, sisters, in the way we know how. We're fighting with courage and honor. We will strike down and aid in the destruction of these tyrannids that plague your shrine world. And we shall launch one more attack. This is kind of fun. In a simple sort of way. I can just randomly talk. Randomly just talk a load of bollocks and play the game. Although, I'm sure when the glitches start rearing in, it will turn more into an episode of my eternal frustration than anything else. But hey, we can prepare for that, can't we? Right, I want a secret arsenal to get off all these chaos artifacts off my back. Still, when I get 1500, I can do that. Right, so the plan is to move up and deal with these orc worlds as quickly as possible. More Tyranids. Blimmin' heck. Oh, no Tyranids around there. Orcs on this sector, though, but that should be alright. Right, Right, we need to aid the Sisters of Battle. If we aid them, they'll be nice to us. And we can get nice things. Pity that you don't have NPC allies that can help you out. I mean, having some Sisters of Battle would have been really cool. As NPCs, I know I'm going to hire some when I get good enough favor with them anyway, but it would be nice just to have some Sisters of Battle as, you know, NPC backup. Would have been pretty cool. Right. Alright, what's the sector doing? That's going to be a problem, that will be a problem, and that will be a problem. That's going to be a bigger problem, because it's so centralized. How are the weeaboo space communists? Oh, they were already getting off a swing. I really hope that the Imperial Navy wiped them out. Right. Anyway. Tyranids. We're gonna raid the moderate force, pin them down a bit, and then raid the heavy force and try and gut them down a bit. Oh, good work, Librarian Corps. Bad work, Librarian Corps. Great. Greater Demon of Nurgle, and I lost a bloody Librarian. Do all of you have... 4 of you have Psychic Hoods. Oh, well. I'll upgrade you when I have the time. Oh, I mean, it must be suck being a Elemental Librarian. Having the misfortune plus the fact that you could be eaten by a Greater Demon of Nurgle at any time. Oh, that wasn't quite what I had in mind. Oh no, that's alright. Librarian Corps, you do so well, and you also do so bad. It's kind of sad. Well, at least you're not Khorne Librarians. I mean, oh my gosh, Khornate Librarians. To be fair, I read the Flesh Tearers novel like a month ago, and there's like 2 instances of Khorne Librarians in there as well. One straight after the the Horus Heresy, like during the Great Scouring. Like one of the Flesh Tearer Librarians turns to Chaos, and then in another novel in the same book, another one turns to Chaos. It's bizarre. I suppose the Flesh Tearers would be more inclined towards Khorne than anyone else, but a Khorne Librarian, it just is baffling to the contradictions. Right. I can't do everything at once. I'm just one lonely Astartes chapter. Right. Now, what else was I thinking? Oh yeah, well I suppose the big piece of news is Guilliman being back, which is pretty awesome. But you know what I'd like to see, just as an aside? I'd like to see maybe... I know they'll eventually get onto a book about the Tyranids, eating everything. I'd like to know what happened to the Lamenters. Even if they came back and, there was like 100 of them left or something, or if there was like confirmation that they died, defending Imperial world. That would be a manly, cool way to go out. I was really surprised that they didn't show up in, like, the Gathering Storm Part 3, like one of the chapters that were around Ultramar, because they were on the Eastern Fringes fighting the Tyranids in the Ultramar system. I would have expected them to show up, but I guess not, really, which is interesting. But hey, nobody remembers the Lamenters, except for me and a few people on the internet. Ah, poor Lamenters. They're so badass and awesome, though. They deal with all this shit, everything, everyone and everything, the whole universe against them. Do they give up and die? Great. Do they give up and die? Do they surrender their fate? No. Denounced you, orc. Do they give up? No, of course not. They keep fighting with courage and honor. They stand up and destroy the enemies of the Imperium. Alright. I think that fleet's glitched out. We're going to probably lose this part right here. But if I retreat, I lose all of my escorts, because that's what this game does. See, that's what this game's like. It's just, the fact it's so unfinished is always so depressing, because I have fun when it's going well, when it's, you know, doing its thing. But then you get something like this bullshit with no balance, you know, 6 battleships showing up on what should be a small fleet, to, you know, game-breaking bugs and glitches. It's just depressing. I mean, that icon showed 2 little ships. That was a small icon, which is a normal indicator of what you'd expect of a small fleet. So maybe like 1 battleship and a few escorts. But 6 battleships in that icon is just bullshit. I wish I knew game design. I'd step in and fix this shit myself if I knew how. Maybe that can be a side project I can do someday. Learn game design. Probably couldn't be much, you know, any worse than the number of countless asset flipping hacks that infest Steam nowadays. Look at that, I've lost all my escorts, which is something I would have had happen anyway, because the game's retreat mechanics are so bollocks, but at least they died with some honor. And some people have complained that the fact I start with the Lamenters with a full fleet is bullshit. So hey, guess what guys, I've redressed the balance. Now the Lamenters have a small fleet again, at the cost of 6 orc battleships. It'd be cool if Battlefleet Gothic Armada's ship system was used here. That would be fun. I did a video in that one, didn't I? I did, when I tried to hybridize these 3 together by cutting between them. Oh, of course. Let it be. What's the worst that can happen? Alright, well, I'm getting slightly pissed off, so we're gonna just keep fighting these, orcs and call that a part, I suppose. Yay! Just die, stupid orcs. Good. We'll take out our frustrations with the blood of the Emperor's enemies, and they will all burn. Oh no, they burned. Cool. Actually, they did burn. 8 close combat heavy flamers. And the librarians can't cast smite. That's pretty cool. Well, that was a bit of fun, I suppose. Well, I will save this now and say thank you very much, guys. Next week's one will be a long play with the Guardians of Fire, which I think was going really well from memory. I think I just stopped the Black Crusade, and I was just trying to I think I just stopped the Black Crusade, but I had a Necron Tomb World to deal with. I think is where it was. So yeah, hopefully this game will be a bit more forgiving for them. And I will say, see you all later, I suppose? Yeah, I guess that's what I should do. Let me know what other videos you want me to say in the comments below, I guess. If you want me to do Dawn of War stuff, or If you want me to do more of this, although I'm still only doing one part of this a week, so maybe just ask if there's other stuff you want to do. I'm just going to tangent for a second and keep the video going. But yeah, I was thinking of buying Dawn of War 2, because I never liked it when it first came out and I played it on a friend's computer, but maybe I should buy Dawn of War 2 and play that before Dawn of War 3 comes out. I'm not sure if I should buy Dawn of War 3, personally because of the bullshit nature of the game, which I am going to do a separate video on actually at some point, how Dawn of War 3 is bullshit with its free factions and pre-order crap. But yeah, I might do Dawn of War 2. And I was thinking of doing Space Hulk Deathwing, because apparently it's had a few updates since it first came out, but we'll see. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you want me to do some Dawn of War 2, or buy Space Hulk Deathwing, or if there's anything else, any other cool 40k stuff you think I should do. I would like to do some live action stuff at some point. I mean, I am going to do a series, me and my brother, with a Tale of 4 Gamers sort of thing. Or Tale of 2 Idiots is probably more to the point, where we collect a new 40k force each, which should be a bit of fun. Make that a 6-month sort of challenge, you know, 1 episode a month. And I was also thinking of doing a 40k podcast with him, because if you think my knowledge of 40k is good, his knowledge makes me look like an idiot. He can quote, like, you know, pick a page out of No Fear, or, you know, 1,000 Suns, and he can quote it. He's just brilliant at it. So maybe we'll do that as well. That might be a bit of fun as well. Share our 40k knowledge and get a bit of a debate going on some things. It'd actually be quite cool, because we have a bit of a... we can be a bit combative personality sometimes, so it's all some interesting debates. But yeah, I don't know, I'm still talking bollocks. I should end the video now, I guess. Bye? Never really know how to end these sometimes.